This is the first clue here in Libya's capital that the government's grip on power is not as solid as it seems. Anti-Gaddafi graffiti being painted over. Cries of dissent the government wants to stifle. We're on our way to meet with one of the people whose voices the government doesn't want you to hear. He's very afraid to talk with us. In fact, his first question was, can you make sure I'm safe? He wants us to keep his identity hidden because he's very afraid of what might happen if the authorities catch him. What's life like under Colonel Gaddafi?
هو يوهموا في الناس هني إن القذافي راهو عنده سلطة قاعدة عنده قوة.
It's like you are in prison. For 40 years he's been lying to us. He's only interested in himself. He wants power and control.
We see all these people out on the streets waving green flags and supporting Colonel Gaddafi. Is that the real picture of Tripoli? Does everyone feel like that here?
The people here who support him are naive and simple. They see him as a god. He planted fear in them and made them scared that without him the country will be in chaos.
When you see these people at the rallies all with their weapons firing in the air, what do you think?
It makes people afraid that Gaddafi is very strong, in complete control, and therefore they won't stand against him. This is fear tactics, a psychological war. But it's clear to the educated people he is weak and has no control.
What do you want to happen now?
The solution is for the international community to move against the tyrant, because the people in the east are decent people. 99% of Libyans don't like Gaddafi. We want Europe and the US to come and help us.
You can't underestimate just how brave somebody has to be to do this, to talk to us here. The fear of being caught is huge. It's a big deal. And he has good reason to be afraid. Arrests of anyone speaking out are going up. Local people tell us the door over there was kicked in the middle of the night by government officials on their way to arrest someone. Despite all the fears, some people are still getting out on the streets. Last week, after Friday prayers right here in Tajura, in the east of Tripoli, protesters clashed with police. Tear gas was fired, live rounds were fired, but it didn't last long. Government officials were relieved. They'd feared it could have been far, far worse. Despite the intimidation, the voices are still getting out. Nick Robertson, CNN, Tripoli, Libya.